So you're going to apply classic Sudoku rules. Each number from 1 to 8 represents the height of a building. So we did a Sudoku like this before, actually. Each number from 1 to 8 represents the height of a building. The clues outside the grid indicate the number of buildings visible from the corresponding direction. The rules are here. I'm reading the rules, bro. Like I haven't even locked in on this puzzle yet. So it's 0. It involves the digits 0 to 8. So there's no 9. 0 doesn't represent. I don't think we've done it with 0. I think we did it from 1 to 9. So it's a bit of a different variant of Skyscrapers Sudoku. Because 0 here is a bit weird, because they're saying 0 doesn't represent a building, and it doesn't count towards the number of buildings in a corresponding direction. So if it said that it can see 4 buildings from this direction, then this wouldn't count as one of those buildings. It's just 0. It's just a digit to fill in. That's all it's saying. But other than that, the numbers from 1 to 8 represent the height of a building. And yeah, I think we've done that sort of idea before, right? And it says how many buildings we can see from like this direction. We can see 3 buildings. And taller buildings hide shorter buildings behind it. Okay. So the tallest building is 8. There's also a video solution for this one. So that's always nice to have a video solution. Let me just check that it is the same one. Yeah. This is another one. This is another puzzle as well from the Sudoku Grand Prix, I think. 2016 round 5. So yeah. How long? The video solution is 38 minutes. Richie the goat. Okay, so from this direction we can only see, what, 2 buildings, and then we already have a 6 here. I mean, that makes, wait. So it has to be an 8 in front of a 7, is that all it's saying? You just need to put the 8 in front of the 7, because you have a 6 there. You can't have 6, 7, 8, otherwise you would see 3. And then from here you can see 3 buildings. Which means it could literally be like this, 1, 7, 8, and that's it. And then that would also coincide with that direction, I think. So that's kind of a lot of options you can put there. I mean, there's also just Sudoku, standard Sudoku, which says there has to be a 2 here or here. So there's that. And also here or here. We can only see 1 building. I mean, the ones that say 1, does that not mean you kind of have to have, this needs to be an 8, right? Otherwise, if it's, no, it could be, okay, no, sorry, it could be a 3. No, it can't be, because there'll have to be an 8 somewhere. Yeah, surely, this was like a 7, you have to have an 8 somewhere here. So, surely, oh, this could be a 0, though. Oh, no, but it can't be a 0 because of this. Can you move the chat a bit from top right? Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. Where should I move it? I move it to the bottom there. So the thing with the 1s is that normally you would think that a 1 means that you have to have an 8. But in this case, there are 0s, which means that 0s don't represent buildings. In this case, you can't put a 0 here, so it's fine. I mean, in this case, even if you did try and put a 0 here, it wouldn't work. But I think if you had like a 1 here, you could put a 0 here, then an 8, for example. and that would work, or you could just put an 8 straight up. So that's the interesting thing about this puzzle. The zeros definitely add a different element to this puzzle. But I think that this definitely has to be an 8, right? Because it can't be a 0. Because if you can only see one building, this is anything other than an 8. There will be an 8 somewhere over here that you can see. Right? The 2 on column 9, row 2. Column 9, row 2. So you're saying here. You're saying this has to be a 2. Why can't this cell here be a 2? I think also this one here has to be an 8 as well. Because we're already using the 1 in that column. You mean in the... Wait, what do you mean the 1 in that column? In this column there's no 1. Do you mean in the 3 by 3? Oh, you mean like... Wait, what? Oh, in column 8. Okay, my bad. In column 8, we're already using the 1, okay? And we can see... I don't get why that forces a 2 here. Why can't you put like a 6? Is it not like, because you could do, you can only see 3 buildings, right? And the larger numbers represent taller buildings. So you could see like 6. Yeah. No, I would say 9, 9. This would have to be a 0. I mean, wait. Could you not do like a 6, 7, an 8 here, and then like that, and then like a 2 here? Like, what's wrong with that? Why does a 2 have to be here? I'm not following what you're saying, Richie. Because then the 2 is blocked by the 8. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, working man. I think this cell would have to be a 0 because it can't be an 8. And the only way for you to see one building is if there's an 8. But in this case, you can have 0 then 8 as well. But if it's 0 then 7, then it'll have to be an 8 somewhere else. So I think it has to be 0 then 8 like this, for example. And so then you can only see one building from this direction. Okay, because of the, if the 2 is in, if the 2 is in row 8, column 2, no, column 8, row 2, so here, it would have to be higher. How am I feeling for results day? Honestly, I'm not feeling too bad. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous, but I think that's to be expected. Like, I'm not expecting to do bad. Like, I'm expecting to do decently well. So to do well enough to get. Wait, there can't be a 2 in row 1. You already have a 2 there. Richie, I see what you're trying to do, in the sense that you're trying to contradict the 2 being in here, but I don't see why. I don't understand your contradiction, to be honest. What do you mean it would have to be higher? You can still see 3 buildings from this direction whilst having a 2 like over here. That's what I don't get. Like, I don't understand why that. Why this? Okay, let's suppose this is the 2 here. Are you saying that you You can't see 3 buildings from this direction. Because you could do like 6 here, 7 here, and 8 here. Oh no, you can't do an 8. Okay, I see what you're saying. There's already an 8 over here. No, sorry, workman. I'm just trying to understand what Richie is saying at the moment. Hold on. Yeah, this works, right? Like you can have a 2 here whilst having a 6 here, a 7 here, and an 8 here. And you can see only 3 buildings, right? What do you mean Richie's right? Wait, I don't understand. Richie was saying that this can't be a 2, but I'm saying this could be a 2, no? Like, there are ways that you can have a 2 with that. That being said, if this is a 2 here, this has to be a 6. So that's kind of... The thing is, the 7 isn't necessarily forced. But one of these 2 cells needs to be a 6. Yeah, that works, but I don't see... that 8 is fixed. The 8 down here is fixed. Oh, hold on, guys, sorry. Guys, give me a second. My mum's calling me. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So, what are we agreeing on? I don't... You're agreeing that there has to be a 2 here. Or there has to be a 2 here. If you're agreeing there has to be a 2 here, why can't there be a 2 here, for example? Oh no, because there's a 6 there. Oh, I see what you're saying. If you put a 2 here, yeah, fine. And there's a 6 here, but you're supposed to see 3 from this direction. But there's an 8 here. And so that's impossible, because the 8 will cover everything. Actually, no, that's fine. No, it's not fine if you put a 2 here, because you can't put a 1 or a 0 here. So you'd have to put a 3 here. I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know if this is what you're saying, but I see an explanation for why this cell here can't be a 2. Because it says you can see 3 buildings in this direction. There's an 8 here, so I can't see any of this stuff. Which means if I put a 2 here, I have to put a 1 or a 0 here in order to see 3 buildings in this direction. So this cell cannot be a 2, because I can't put a 1 or a 0 here. So I would only be able to put a 3, but that would cover the 2. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So the 6, so it has to be 2 here, and therefore it has to be 6 here. Okay, I got you. So now here's the thing, with this 3, we could do like 3, 7. So what else are we missing in this box? 3, 4, 5, and 7. So it could be 3, 4, 8. quite a few options. Also, this, yeah, they all work. They all work. There's nothing. There's no kind of contradiction with that at this point. I don't think. We can just keep looking from other directions. I mean, this is the only one that we have left, but this could be a 0 and this could be an 8. So I don't think there's any way that we can decide which of those it is. But obviously this cell here has to be a 0 or an 8. And if you can see three buildings from this direction. You could do 6, 7, 8. Like if this, I was thinking if this cell was an 8, then you can see three buildings from this direction, but you could just do a 7 here, so that's fine. Oh no, it's not, because you have to put something here. So you don't put a 7 here. You put like a 4. You do 3, 6, 4, and then an 8 here, and that would work. I don't think there can be a 7 here if this is an 8. Yeah, there can't be, but we don't know it's an 8. Well, if it's a 0, it's not going to contribute either. We also have a 2 in one of these two cells. Can we try and like use contradictions for that? You're saying there has to be either a 3 or a 5. Or a 4. I mean, thing is no, but I mean if this is a 0, you could have a... Wait, let me think. If this cell here is a 0, then this has to be an 8. But you could have... You can't have a 7 here. Yeah, true. You can never have a 7 here. That's true, actually. So what did you say? A 3, 5, or a 4. But yeah, you could have a 5, for example. And then just put an 8. Actually, can you? No, you'd have to put an 8 somewhere here. But then you can't put a 7. A 7 would have to be in here or here. So this would have to be like a 4 or a 3. This would also have to be... This could be a 1, for example. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah. You definitely can't be a 7 though, you're right. So what do we have here? Let me just write it like this. 0, 8. And then 3, 4... 5. 7 at 2, 9. Because it can't be... Yeah, it can't be... There can't be a 7 here, because then you would only be able to see at most 2. Well, no, yeah, you'd only be able to see 2 from that direction. And you can't have a... Well, you could why can't you have a 7 here? Oh, because you can't put an 8 here. So whatever you put here has to be less than a 7. It would have to be a 5. And if you put a 7 here, then you can only see at most 3, is what you're trying to say. I mean, oh no, because the 0 doesn't count. 0 doesn't count. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I agree with your logic. So this cell here has to be a 7. Okay. So then we just have 3, 4, 5 in these cells here. I mean, we know that, like, for example, we know which cells here can't be 7s. Like, in these 3 by 3s, for example, like, This is 5. So if I can't, obviously can't put a 7 here. I can't put a 7 here. I can't put a 7 here or here. Oh no, sorry, I could put a 7 here actually. I'm bugging. But I can't put a 7 here. So it's kind of like get these options for 7s, but not that useful yet. Not that useful. But yeah, I like kind of what you did there. Also, thinking about where we could put 8s as well is quite. But we know there has to be an 8 in one of these 3, so it's kind of. Wait, it says you can only see 2 here. If I put, so given that there's a 6 here, oh no, you could put like other stuff here and then do an 8 later on. Okay. It just means there has to be an 8 before a 7. How am I feeling? I'm feeling good. I mean, hopefully it goes fine. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous, but. Row 2, column 3 for 8. So none of these 2 cells can be an 8. This cell here can't be an 8. This can't be an 8. This can't be an 8. And this can't be an 8. This also can't be an 8 because then you wouldn't see 4. So yeah, I agree with you. Wait, hey, buddy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't jump on my... So that means this has to be an 8 here. Perfect. Okay, nice. And then obviously there's no 8 here or here. You could put an 8. I don't know, yeah. This can't be an 8, obviously, and this can't be an 8. So does this have to be an 8? Because if you put an 8 here, you wouldn't be able to see 5. You put an 8 here. I have 4 cats. I have 4 cats. Well, I'm not living by myself though, like there for my family. My family has 4 cats. Yeah. Wait, does this cell have to be an 8, guys? Real quick, before I look at what you're saying, Working Man. I guess surrounded by them. What, sorry? Yeah, I'm surrounded by cats, or? Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know if anyone else has commented on it, but I think this cell has to be an 8. This cell can be basically anything else, though. And if we look here, sorry, I'm just going to try and fill in these 8s real quick. Except we don't actually know where the 8's going to be, so. There has to be an 8 in here or here, and there can't be an 8 in here because then you'd only see at most 4. So this cell here has to be an 8. So because this is an 8, you know that none of these cells can be a 7, but also 8, 8, 8. One of these 2 cells is an 8. Oh, and it can't be this one, so that cell has to be an 8. And also it says 2, but you can't put a 6 in any of these, which means that you could do... Difficult. Yeah, you have to do a 0 here and a 7 here, right? No, that's not true. That's not true. You could do a... There has to be a 7. No, there has to be a 7 here or here. Actually, no, not necessarily. You could put a 7 over here. True. Okay. Just, yeah, any number. They just have to be in ascending. They just have to be ascending, basically. No, because, yeah, you can't do 2 numbers ascending. You have to do one that's not a building. Wait, let me think. Oh yeah, it can't be a 7 there. Okay, I see what you're saying. It could be like... Well, no, you could do like 5, 3. No, but then you have to put a 6 somewhere over here and you'll see it. Okay, I see. So what you're saying, this has to be a 0. No, sorry, this can't be a 0. Wait, let me think about what this could be real quick, sorry. If this is a 5, this obviously can't be a 6, 7, or an 8. And the 6 will have to go somewhere over here, so it just doesn't work. If this is a 4, then you have to do... Again, there has to be a 6. Oh no, actually, no, it's fine. Sorry, I'm bugging. If you put a 5 here, it's okay to have a 6 here, because you have an 8. You just need to have, like, yeah, you could do 5, 3, 8. For example. It's fine. You only see the 5 and the 8. So I don't think we can figure that out. Because you could see 4 and... You could have, like, 4 and 3. Or 4 and 0. Okay, I don't know. Wait. What did Working Man say? 7 at 9, 1? What, you're saying this has to be a 7? Do you mean row 9, column 1? Or column 9? No, you can't mean column 9, row 1. You have to mean, yeah. Okay, so this, you're saying this here is a 7. Your reasoning is, if it was left of 6, a number smaller than 7 is forced to be left of the 7. I don't understand. You're saying you can't have a 7 here because then you would see 3. So there has to be a 7 somewhere here. Is that what he's saying? And you can't have a 7 here or here because of the 4? Is that what he's trying to say? I don't know if that's what he's trying to say, but I feel like that is another way of seeing it. If it was left of a 6, a number smaller than 7 is forced to be left of the 7. Wait, you were saying, okay, to the if we look at the left of the 6, then any number that's smaller than 7 has to be what? To the left of the 7? Okay, do you not do like 7 and then 5 or something? And that will work, right? I'm not sure what you mean. If it was left of 6, if it was in one of these two cells, what, the 7? Oh, I see. Then you're saying you have to put a smaller digit here or something. But then that will give you a 3. That will give you 3 buildings that you can see. Because you can't put a 0. Yeah, that's true. So this has to be a 7. Okay, that's neat. One of these two cells has to be a 6 as well. Yeah. I mean, Richie, I saw that as well, but he was, I think he was saying something slightly different, but it's the same. It gives you this. It's the same kind of stuff. Wait, this has to be an 8, right? Because of Sudoku. So once we know this is an 8, one of these two cells is a 6. You can't obviously have 7. So none of these. I mean, we already know one of those two. If this cell is a 6, then this cell has to be something less than 6. So it wouldn't be 2, right? So this cell has to be a 6, surely. Oh no, you could have a 0. No, you can't have a 0 because of this. Bro, I feel like I'm going to forget about the 0. I'm going to forget about the 0 at some point, and it's actually going to cost. It's going to be, like, really annoying. Like, I'm gonna forget about it when it actually is valid, and it's gonna be like, bruh. So I'll move this as well. Just making sure that was right. But yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So six for row 2, column 2. Is that kind of just the Sudoku thing? Because this, well, one of these two cells definitely has to be a 6. Oh yeah, it can't be this one. Actually, it could be like 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of thing. Yeah, I think. Wait, 7 at 8, 7. You said, working man. 8. This can't be a 7. I agree, because then you'd have to have at most 3. This can't be a 7. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you're right. That has to be a 7. And this cell here also can't be a 7, because then you'd... Oh no, it could be a 7. You'd have to have it. You could have that. It'd have to be like 5, 7. No, you couldn't though. You couldn't have this cell being a 7, because if this cell's obviously has to be less than a 7. So if it's a 5, for example, then you have to put a 6 somewhere over here. Oh no, but it's covered by the 7. Yeah, maybe that's fine. That actually should be fine. Also the zeros as well. But there's no possibility for a 0 in that bottom right, so it's okay. Otherwise, I would be a bit worried. No, even if there was, you can still have at most 3. So it's fine, it doesn't actually matter. Wait, are you sure that this cell here can't be a 6? Could you not have like... Wait, 7 has to be here. I was saying 7 has to be one of these 3, and I was trying to see what happens if I put it here. But yeah, you can't put a 7 here. No, I didn't say 7 had to be at that. No, don't credit me for that. I wasn't saying that. But yeah, you're right. 7 can't be here, because then you'd have 3. Good point. And also can't be here, because then you have to do something else here, which would be like a 1. Which would be like a 3, or a 3, 7, 8 or something. Yeah, good point. Let's pencil in the 6. What you're saying... Oh, you were talking about this one of these two cells being a 6. True. As long as you remember that this means that 6 is not... No, we have to just... Because I haven't listed all the options for those cells, but hopefully we can understand what I'm trying to say. Or maybe I'll do it in a different color to make myself remember that I'm not indicating all the options. I'm just saying one of these two cells needs to be a 6. And then if we look at the 7s here... Saying 0 at 6, 8. You're saying this cell here has to be a 0. Why? Because if you try and do... I don't understand. Can you not still do like 5, 3, 8 for 5, 3? Oh, just straight up Sudoku. Good point. My bad. Yeah, it is just straight up Sudoku. That has to be a 0. And then what do we get? No. Well, yeah, I guess either of these could be 0. Actually, no, this can't be 0 because then it wouldn't count towards the building. So this has to be 0. Because you wouldn't count that as a building, so this you'd only see one building. And then yeah, I don't know. It has to be a 0 in here or here, that's for sure. What about the 1? I mean, the 1 here is quite restricted, but we can't really do stuff much with small digits in terms of the... Can't see the numbers at the right... To be fair, neither can I, bro, don't worry. I was zoomed in on the thing. But yeah, I'll zoom out. The 6, I mean... Well, there can't be a 7. I mean, we can't put a 7 here or here, right? Because in any of those cases, that just... You can't put a 7 here. So there has to be a 7 here or here. Have you already said that? That's not a 1, by the way. That's just a line. Just trying to make sure that we absolutely cannot put a 7 in here. And yeah, we definitely can't. And in here. Okay, I think that reasoning is correct. Well, we already have a pair of 6s in here, right? So we know that this cell can't be a 6 and this cell can't be a 6. And obviously these two cells can't be a 6. So one of these two cells is a 6. You see what I'm trying to say? You could put a 6 here though. You could put anything here, so that's kind of a problem. Could you put a 6 in here? I don't see why not. You can do like 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, for example. So basically, you have to put a 6 in one of these two cells, though. Hey, Shalom. I see Shalom in the live as well. What's up? Can I zoom out? Yeah, zoom out. Yeah. I have zoomed. Wait, is this enough? Yo, what's up, Shalom? How are you doing? Oh, also, we've used the 7s in this row. We have a pair of 7s, so this can't be a 7 and this can't. Oh, we already know about that box, but it means that one of these two cells has to be a 7 locked in. But again, it could be either, I think. How am I? I'm alright, man. A little nervous for obvious reasons, but we moved, bro. Yeah, me too, honestly. Like, don't worry. I'm sure most people getting A-level results are. But yeah, I'm decently good, man. I'm just kind of, I'm taking my mind off results day. I'm just doing some puzzles. Nah, I mean, that wasn't the reason I did it. I'm just doing it. But yeah. Nah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, hopefully, for results day. But obviously, yeah, me too. I'm a bit nervous. I'm like, ooh, bro, like, I don't know. Okay, I really want to go to work at this stage. Like I've already accepted that before actually getting results, so it'd be a bit upsetting if I didn't get work, but yeah, we move, whatever happens, we'll figure something out. Also, the 1 has to be in here or here along the road just by standard Sudoku, but don't really think that's super useful at the moment. Actually, no, what? You can put a 1 here as well. Okay, ignore me. Best of luck. Yeah, you too, you too. There was a 6 at 6-4. Hold on a minute, sorry. If a 6 at 6-4 or 6-5, a 7 is forced. Hold on, I need to see this properly. If there was a 6 at 6-4, so if you're saying, if there was a 6 here. No, there has to be a 7 in here or here. So what do you mean 6-2 or 6-3? Oh, okay, wait, I see what you're saying. No, there can't be a 7 in here. What? What do you mean the 7 is forced at 6-2? Wait, if there's a 6 here, you have to put a 7 here. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Because otherwise, yeah, otherwise you can't get 5. You can still get 5 though, you just do 5-4, for example. It is still doable. Okay, get what I said, okay. If 6 is at 6-2, I mean, there can't be a 6 at 6-2. We already know that. Love Skyscrapers, yeah. This one's a bit strange just because there's like the 0. It's made me double think myself a couple times because it doesn't count as a building. But other than that, yeah. There's some straight up skyscrapers. Some straight up skyscrapers. Hey, 6 has to be at 6-3. Oh yeah, good point actually. No, that's the thing. That's why I don't like penciling stuff like this in, because it makes you think that there can't be a 6 in one of these two, but can there be a 6 here? Right? There obviously can't be a 6 here or here. Or here. But can there be a 6 here? If there was, there would have to be a 7 here. But then you could just do like 4, 5. You could do 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. That would work, right? So I don't think that's forced to be a 6. I don't know. I don't know if I love penciling in like these sorts of things. It does help with pairs. The only reason I don't like it is because now it just causes me a lot of confusion. Because I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's hopefully we can just. Whenever I pencil them, I usually prefer. If the 8 is correct in box 2, there's a 7 above it. I don't know what you're referring to as box 2, but do you mean this box? Which box do you mean? Oh, box 1. Okay, sorry. Okay. Well, why can't there be... Why can't there be like a 7 somewhere else there? Like you could put like a 6 and then a 7, because the 8 is covering up everything else. So you would see 2 no matter what you put here. Okay, not a 6 because there's 6 in the row, but like a 5. Oh no, because then you have to see a 6 somewhere else. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. No, you wouldn't because there's an 8 here. No, I'm bugging. No, yeah. Surely you can put a 5 here. Because no, the 8 is blocking everything after that. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just trying to understand and like make sure that I know what's going on with that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously we have obviously we do actually, to be fair, if we think about the 7 can't be here or here. It can't be here or here. It can't really be here either, right? Because then you'd only have at most 2. So there does have to be a 7 here or here. And it also can't be here, right? I think... Because could you have 4 if you put a 7 here? I don't think so, right? You can only have 3. So this has to be a 7, right? Just in terms of using Sudoku as well. Is that right? I assume that's right. Guys, please tell me if you think I'm saying something that's not right. I know that a couple of you people are thinking about... You can have a 4 where, sorry? You can have a 4 in column 2. Wait. Is a 7 locked in here, guys? Do you agree with that? Sorry. Sorry, I'm not sure whether you're telling me I'm wrong about the 7 or whether you're trying to... I know you're talking about 4, but I don't know exactly what you mean. No, okay. So this is not guaranteed to be a 7. Okay, I see. So this can't... Wait, this could be a 7. Yeah, there are. It says 4. For that column. I don't understand. How can this cell be a 7, though? No, I'm talking about for this 4 on the side. Because if I put a 7 here, surely everything behind that except for the 8 is covered up. So I'd only see 3. Okay, cool. So, wait, let me put the 7 in here. So we got 7 in here then, locked in. And that means this can't be a 7 anymore, which means... Surely that implies this has to be a 7, right? Because we said that one of those two had to be a 7. So this cell here is a 7. That means there's a 6 at 5, 1. And a 5 at 1, 1. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, because you can't put... Wait, why can't there be... Wait, where are you getting the 6 at 5, 1 from? Well, why can't this, for example, be a 6? You could put a 5 here as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you put there. No, yeah, you can't have a 6 here. Oh, there's a 6 in column 1. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, that definitely can't be a 6. This has to be a 6, right? There you go, because there's a 6 pair here. Good point. As in the 6s in this 3x3 have to be in here or here just by standard Sudoku. So we know that the 6s in that column can't be here. There can't be a 6 in that column here. Okay. That's nice. This now cannot be a 6, right? So we've got that out of the way. Now that we have a 6 here, we know that one of these two has to be a 7, which is a bit interesting. And also this column is not looking too bad. What are you missing? Yeah, we don't really have any other digits to with. 4 can't be at 2, 7. What do you mean by 2, 7? There's already a 0. Do row 2, column 7. Unless you mean. Six can't be at 3, 2 because of the row towers left to right. What? So if I put a 6 here, then what we need to see 4 from left to right. So I don't know. Let me just try and find an example where there's 4. Could you not do like 3, 6, 7, 8 like that? What? I don't understand. How do you know that? How do you know that this can't be a 6? What? Or is it some? You could do like 4, 6, 7, 8. You could do like 5, 6, 7, 8. So, Nicola, this is called 0 to 8 Skyscrapers Sudoku. So it's like each number represents the height of a building. I mean, you can, I don't know, you can read the rules to the left, and then like if you don't understand anything, maybe ask. But basically, it's just like each of the numbers. Yeah, okay. Okay. So you thought 3, 1 is a 0. No, I penciled that to say that one of these two cells is a 0, guaranteed. Like in that 3x3. That's why That's why I'm a bit uncertain. I don't really know if I like that kind of penciling. But to be fair, it did help us with these pairs here, so I can't really complain. I was just thinking about this in terms of the 5, because obviously now we have to put sort of 1, 3, 4, or 5 in this cell. Obviously, no, sorry, 3, 4, or 5 in this cell actually. And if I put a 5, then yeah, no matter what I put, surely this cell has to be a 7, right? Like as in, if this cell's a 7. Oh no, you could do 3, 6, 5. Actually, yeah, you could do 3, 6, 5. 2, 3, 6, 5, 7, and then you would only see 5. Okay, so you can't figure that out yet, but at least I don't think you can. Okay, you've got most of the 6, 7s, and 8s. This cell here obviously can't be a 6. We have a 7 here, and it's telling us we can only see 2 from this direction. So surely we know that there can't be a 6 in any of these 3 cells. Because if there were... Oh, no. No, actually, yeah, no, it doesn't matter what you put in these 3 cells. Sorry, I'm bugging. Because you can't see anything except for the 8. Okay, ignore me. And 0 doesn't represent any building, then couldn't a 0 be on top of the 8 in the first row? Yeah, we already considered that, Nicola, but we put an 8 here. Because it has to be 0 then 8, right? Surely. We got an 8 here, then we said this has to be an 8. I mean, the column markings, 0 doesn't count as a building, so it's not really included in any of the markings. I think column 7, rows 1 and 3. Column 7, rows 1 and 3 Could be 3 and 4 and 5 at the top right. I mean, okay. But where exactly are you getting that from? Just in terms of, I mean, you could do 3, 5, and 4 as well, right? Like 3 here. Working Man is right. Wait, sorry, what did Working Man say? I haven't exactly been following everyone. He said there's a 0 can't be at 1, 4, and 1, 2. Oh yeah, true, because of Sudoku. Good point, good point. Sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't see what Working Man was saying. There are no other places for 0. Yeah. Yep. Okay, what else are you missing? 1 and 2. No, not 1 and 2. 1 and 1, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Obviously, one of these two cells needs to be a 1. Four can't be in 3, 7. Zero and 5, 3. We already have a 0 and 5, 3. Well, are you set? Oh, 3, 5. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because... Wait, let me think. Because none of these two cells can be a 0. Yeah, sure, but what about this cell? Because of the 4 building. Yeah, but 0 doesn't count as a building though. Or would you... Wait, what? In the 6... No, I think I see what you're trying to say. I don't exactly see what you're trying to say, actually. 2... You're saying, okay, there's 4 in this column, yeah. 2... Yeah, in order to have 4, there needs to be two taller buildings between here. Oh, so there can't be a 0. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. So you need to put like 3 and 4, 3 and whatever works. Okay, good point. Or 3 and 6 or something. Okay. Yeah, or whatever works. Okay, good point. Yeah, that has to be a 0. And the last one is going to be here. Nice. Okay, awesome stuff. Let's go. We know there has to be... I'm just trying to think. So it has to be a 7 in one of these two. We don't exactly know. I mean, in this column, there can't be a 7. Yeah, I mean, one of these two needs to be a 7 in that column. So that's nice to know. You think you're right about the top right grid? What about your positioning of 3, 4, and 5? How in row 3 is it possible? Well, I mean, you can just do like 3 and then 4. Oh no, you need to put a 6 somewhere. Okay, let's say... Actually, yeah, do you need to put a 6? Oh no, yeah, you could put a 6 here and then just do like 3... What's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That would work. If you put like 3 and 4. Or if you put like a 6 here... If you did put a 6 here, you need to put something less than a 6 here, but... I thought you had to put a 1. Oh, okay. No worries. Wait, can you guys hear me? Wait. Hello? Let me try connecting my headphones. It's working? It's working. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Bro, I can't tell if people can actually hear me. What the... Okay. Sorry. Okay, we're back. Let's go. I hope we're back. I don't know what I did, but whatever I did fixed it. Nah, bro, wouldn't you? What are you... Okay. Right, about to explain my logic for column 7. Okay. To get the 4 from above. Okay. Wait, or did you say about to or but to? Oh, but to explain my logic. The weird thing about that when the microphone goes off is that it doesn't do that on the replay of the live. Like, it works, but it does for some reason on the actual live. I don't know what it is. It needs to go 3, 4, 5. Since we can't use 2, 6, and 7. What do you mean it needs to go? What needs to go? As in, you mean in these cells it has to be 3, 4, or 5. If we put a 5 here, then yeah, we would need to put something less than a 5 here. So you would only be able to do, and you can't put a 6 or a 7. Yeah, good point. Because then you have to put something less than a 5 here and something less than a 5 in these two. Oh no, you could put a 3 here and then a 4 here, for example. But even then, you can't put something, you'd have to put something less than a 4 here. Yeah, I think you're right. Sorry, guys, I was just listening to Prism's reasoning there for a second, but is it 7, 1 is 3 and 7, 3 is 4? 7, 1 is 3, 7. You mean column 7, row 1, or column 7, row 1 and column 7, row 3? Sorry, 7, 3 and 3, 7, wait. 7, 3 and 3, 7 is kind of like this. I think some of you guys are swapping the orders of like row columns, so it's going. Wait. Okay. You said there can't be a 5 in column 7, row 3. Okay, you can't put a 5 in here either. And that would be because, let's say I put a 4 here. And then a 5 here. I have to put like a 3 and then a 2 here. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You can't put anything greater than a 5 in here. And you can't put anything greater than a 4. Yeah, I think you're right, actually, with that logic. That's nice. That's super nice, actually. So this has to be a 5. And then once you have that, well, you have 5, 6, 8. You already see 3. Well, it doesn't really matter what this is, but yeah. Thanks, Nicola. Sorry, I literally cannot see any of Richie's. I saw Richie say the initial thing, and then after that, I didn't see what he meant. And you're saying it has to be 3, 4 from top to bottom. Okay. And that's because if I try and put a 4 here, I'd have to put a 3 here. Then I could, in theory, put a 5 here, but then I have no option for this, because I can't put a 4. I have to put something less. Yeah. It's way up top. Oh, my bad, sorry. I was just focusing on stuff other people were saying, I think, and I didn't see it. That's my bad. So this has to be a 3, and this has to be a 4. Nice. Okay. So what are we missing in here? 2 and 1. So 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2. So we obviously are going to see a 7 and an 8 here. So if I put a 1 here, then I have to put a 0. Wait. Oh, 1 and 4, 1, 4. Thank you. My bad. If I put a 1 in here, I don't think, to make 3, I can still see the 7 and the 8. I'd have to put a 0 here, but I can't. So it has to be a 4, right? This cell has to be a 4. Because if I put a 1 here, no matter what I put here, I'll see 4. So this has to be a 4. This has to be a 1. And you're saying the 5 has to be in row 4, column 7, or row 5, column 7. So, yeah, none of these two can be a 5. Row 4, column 7. So you're saying there has to be a 5 in here or here. What about... Why? You didn't understand what I just did with the 1 and 4. Well, with the 1 and 4, is that if you mean the 1 and 4? Yeah, I was saying if you put a 1 here, you need to see 3 from the top down, but you can already see. You can already sorry, Prism. You can already see if you put a 1 in this cell, you can already see 1, 7, and 8. So you'd have to put something. You have to put as well. You can't put anything in here, right? Because no matter what you put in here, Well, if you put a 0, yeah, maybe you would still be able to see 3, but you can't. So it has to be 4, I think. Okay. Sorry, President. I must have misread. You said row 4. Oh, and one of these two. Okay, yeah. I see what you're trying to say. Then my question becomes, what about... Why can't there be a 5 in here? It needs 4 buildings from the top. Oh, because you're saying we already have 3 and 4, which is 2 buildings. If I put stuff which is both less than 3 and 4, it'll be covered up by the 2. So there has to be a 5 in one of those two. Good point. Good point. And Nicola says that there's a 5 and 8, 8. Yeah, the amount of people we have working on this is actually crazy. Like, this is super fun. Okay. 5 and 8, 8. So obviously, yeah, because these can't be 5 and these can't be 5. The question then becomes, what happens if I put a 5 in here? Is it something to do with this 4, maybe? As we have 5, 6. You'd have to put something less than a 7 in here, basically, which would be okay. Wait, there's a 5 and 8, 8. We only get 3. Wait, sorry, what do you mean? We only get 3? Oh, wait, you mean, wait, what? Wait, why can't there be a 5 in here again, sorry? No, I see what you're... I know that you're saying that you can't put a 5 in that place, but I'm saying what? Because of the buildings, there would be 5? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're saying if you put a 5 here, then this has to be... It can't be a 0, so it has to be something less than a 5, because it can't be a 7. Okay, yeah. Got you, I got you. So this has to be a 5. Okay. Because it can't, yeah, it couldn't be a 5, 6, 7, or 8, so it'd have to be a 4, but then you'd have 5 buildings. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I got you. Okay, so what are we missing from here then? We have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 by the looks of things. Okay. Can we put... Well, we can't do a 5, 6, 7, or 8 here. Can we even put a 4 here? You can, because you can... No. If you put a 4 here, then you have to put a 3... Let me think. If you put a 4 here, then in order to see 4 buildings, well, in this one, you'd have to put a 3, 2, or a 1, but then you'd see 5 buildings, right? So it has to be a 3, surely. Because it can't... You're going to have a 7 somewhere here. Or somewhere here, I should say. But... And you have a 6 as well here, and an 8 here, so you already see 3. If I put a 4 here, you'd have to put something less than a 4 here. So it has to be a 3. Nice, guys. Let's go. There has to be a 4 in here. Okay. So then this one has to be a 4, otherwise it's not going to work. because you can't put a 2 or a 1. Sorry, guys. I'll read what you guys say in a second. I'm just like, there's like a chain of reasoning here that I'm trying to follow, that I feel like I'm onto. That can't be a 2 or a 1. No, okay, yeah. Okay, I think that's right. And then what are we left with here? 1 and 2. This has to be a 2 and this has to be a 1. Okay. Perfect. 6 at 2, 2. Okay. 6 at 2, 2. We should be able to kind of just finish most of this at this stage. You're saying there's a 6 here. Yeah, I mean, I'm low-key just trying to follow everything. Wait, hold on. Hold on, guys. Someone says there's a 6 at 2, 2. 2, yeah. Okay, if we try and solve 2 by Sudoku, which is what I'm seeing people say, what you're saying in box 7, then we have, yeah, we have to have a 2 here, 100%. And we can also figure out, hold on. Yeah, this has to be a 2. And then we can figure out one of those two. Wait, we can figure out which one of these cells is a 2, surely. Which 2s are we missing? I'm not gonna lie. There's 2s here and here. Wait, 2 wasn't by Sudoku? Was it not? We had a 2 here and the 2's here. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, it can also be next to it. Good point, good point. Good point, good point. What with this 2? My bad, bro. I'm actually bugging out right now. Sorry. Oh, you're reasoning with skyscrapers. Oh, okay, fine. I see what you're trying to say. Wait, because Niccolo, you said it could be completed. I thought you meant all of the 2s could be found. Maybe you did mean that. I just did it wrong. My bad. Wait, where there is the 7? Well, we know that there has to be a 7 here or here. 4. We can see 4, 6, and 8. If I don't put a 7, if I put a 7 here, I could, in theory, put a 5 here right now. Also, wait, working man, are you 100% sure that what you said about the 6 here? Because, I mean, what are we even missing? We're missing 3, 5, and 6 from these cells. 3, 5, and 6. 5 and 6. And 3, 5, and 6. Because if you have a 6 at 3, 2, the smaller number must be above it. Because we would see 1, 6, 7, and 8. So you would need to do... Yeah, you can't put anything larger than a 6 here, so that you would see more than 4. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Yeah, 5 towers. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Okay. That's right, I think. That makes sense. Because no matter what... Yeah. Unless you put a... No, you can't put a 0 there. So yeah, that's fine. So this has to be a 6, I think. 0, what are we missing? 4, 3, 4, and 5. This has to be 3 or 4. This has to be 5. This has to be 3 or 4. And this has to be 3 or 4. But it can't be 4, so it has to be a 3. Has to be a 4. Has to be a 3. Has to be a 5. Has to be a 4. Surely the rest of this is going to be completable. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say completable by just standard. Oh, what's going on here, bro? Wait, 0, 1, 2, 3. This has to be a 4. This has to be a 4. Sudoku 4 box 1. Thank you. That has to be a 4. This obviously can't be a 5. Or a 6, it has to be a 3. And then this box here has to be a 6. And then what do we have? Well, what do we have left here? We have to see 4, 2. This has to be 3 or 5. Well, what are you missing there? 3, 5, and 7. This has to be a 7. Yeah, pream's the goat. Solvable the ninth column is solvable. Okay, I mean, is it 0? This has to be 1. This has to be 2. This has to be 3. Yeah, I got you guys. I got you. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what? This has to be... Yeah, the rest is solvable by, I think, standard Sudoku at this stage. I'm not going to lie. Well, what are we missing? 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. So this has to be 7. It has to be 5. 0. Let me make sure I don't fumble this real quick. What are we missing here? 3, 5, and 1. This has to be a 1 or a 3. No, actually, am I right? No, I'm not. Wait, yeah, I'm right. Column 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this cell here needs to be a 5. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. What are we missing? 3 and 6. So this has to be 0, 1, 2. 0. Wait, let me just see. 2. That has to be a 2. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2. What are we missing here? 3 and 5. And what are you missing here? 1, 3, and 5. So the only place that 6 can go is in here. Which means this is a 3. And this obviously can't be a 1. So this has to be a 1. Oh, maybe you do actually need to complete it with the... So what do we have here? We have 1 here. We need to see 3 from this direction. If I put a 5, we would only be able to see 5, 7, and 8. If I do a 3, we would be able to see 3, 4, 7, and 8. So yeah, we have to put a 5. 5. Okay, so I was wrong by it just being direct. Sudoku, but there we go. I think that's right. I mean, I can check the video solution, but I told you. You told me. Wait, what? You told about the 5 or? Whoa, what's up? What's up, Bosch Tom? What's up? How are you? They always do it. What, the permutation thing? What? You told me about permutation, like they always kind of mix up, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Oh, the 635 here, 365. I can kind of see what you're trying to... Is that what you were talking about? I don't know. No, I think that's just random. I think I'm bugging. But in one other puzzle, it was more obviously like they were just using permutations of the same thing. I don't remember what your message was, bro. I'm sorry. What was your message? That's just solvable by buildings at the end. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Sorry, yeah, I didn't see that. I think I was dialed in trying to finish the Sudoku or something. Yeah, I mean, valid though, either way. I guess we could do another one. I don't actually have any... I mean, which one do you guys want to do? I don't have anything else that I really had. If you guys want to do another one, we can. Should we just do a cracking the cryptic one? Whatever I want to do. I guess we can just find a cracking the cryptic. We'll see though. I mean, I don't know, because also like, I don't know, some of the cracking the cryptics, that'll take us like an hour and a half on average. I mean, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, actually. I can probably do. Actually, I don't know, actually. I don't know if I want to do another one, honestly. I'm a bit knocked out from that one, honestly, and I kind of just want to, like, don't do a recent one. I finished all the ones. No way, you've been doing all the cracking the cryptic puzzles. Is there a 025 impossible problem? Bro, I wish, bro. Like, I'm sure there are bigger grids. Yo, 025 is so niche. It's genuinely so fucking niche. Like, I could not find another 025. It was hard to find 025s just by themselves, let alone, like, hard ones. I could find... There were 025s with other conditions, but it's because for the video I was trying to do just a classic 025. But there are like 025s with extra conditions. Maybe we can try it for one of those. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I will do another puzzle now, because like there are options, but they might. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just don't really feel like doing another Sudoku right now. Sorry, guys. I don't really ask AI to generate puzzles. I would ask ChatGPT, like, can you help me find one? I'm not sure if it's very good at generating. To be fair, I did ask it to go through the tenor grid, and it actually did give a valid solution path, though. So it's actually decent at solving them. I don't know if it can generate puzzles, though. And I don't think it can. Even if it can, I think it might be able to, but I don't think it can generate like really good. Like, it might give you, like... It might not be, like, very nice solved. It might just be, like, I don't know. But if it's just a standard Sudoku, I think it wouldn't really make a difference, actually. It depends what puzzle you're asking it to make, basically. I did have... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, thank you guys anyway for coming on the live. Sorry, but I'm not... The spark of doing a puzzle is that... A human celebrates its difficulty. And there's a human setter. Yeah. Who put their time into it. A human celebrates its difficulty. One-up puzzle. We could do a one-up puzzle, because that would be like pretty quick. Working man, probably not tonight. And also probably not tomorrow morning, because it's results day. Maybe, most likely tomorrow evening. Actually, if it's tomorrow evening, it'd be late. If it's not tomorrow evening, it will most likely be Friday morning. Good luck. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Prism. Thank you for the good luck. Yeah, hopefully it goes well. It should go fine. It should be fine. Yeah, we could do a quick one up, honestly, like, genuinely. I think that wouldn't take too long. Thank you, Prism, for that nice message. Right, we got puzzle 875 here. Let's go. Let's play. Is it gonna let me play? Okay. Oh, okay, this is actually looking chill. So, Prism, this is a type of puzzle called one-up that Nicola showed me. So, he discovered this. I'm assuming he discovered, and maybe one of his friends. But basically how it works is you got to fill the empty cells with numbers. And those numbers have to be, if it's a 4x4, they have to be between 1 and 4. If it's a 9x9, it has to be between 1 and 9, so on and so forth. And then you kind of got to like, so you have like these horizontal cells, like horizontal spaces that are like separated by boundaries. So you have like 4 spaces on the top row, then 2 and 2 on the second row, then 4 on the third row, and 3 and 1 on the fourth row. And you also have vertical spaces that are separated by boundaries. So obviously here there's 4 in the first column, 4 in the second column, so on and so forth. And you have to put the numbers, from 0 to 4 in each column and 0 to 2 in each, like, it's very difficult to explain. Hold on. Wait, can someone in chat try and explain? My mum's calling me. Hold on. It's easier if you learn by playing, but hold on. Hold on, sorry. Okay, I'm back. That's the wrong thing. Wait, I get it, but... Brother. I get it, but in the whole row and column, numbers can't repeat. They can only repeat if there's a barrier. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. So like in the places where there are 2 spaces, you have to put the numbers 1 and 2 in some order. Where there's 4 spaces, you have to put the numbers 1 to 4 in some order. And then where there's 3 spaces, you put the number 1 to 3 and so on and so forth. And if there's one space like this is guaranteed to be a 1 because there's only 1 space. But you can also look at horizontal, so you look at horizontal and vertical spaces basically. Okay, today's one is actually not that bad because I think it's a 7x7. So this obviously has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. Did it in 2 minutes. Okay, brother. This has to be a 1 because it can't be a 2 or a 3. This has to be a 3. Is there any obvious ones? That has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. That has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. That has to be a 1. 2, 3. Wait, that has to be a 3. Okay. This has to be a 2. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. Bro, how could you do this in 2 minutes? Bro, what? It's actually insane. That is insane. That has to be a 3. Even if it's not too tricky today. This has to be 7. Because there's only that. This can't be a 7. 5. This has to be a 4. This has to be a 3, 2, 1. I'm not doing it in that time, that's for sure, bro. In hell. 6. Let me see. This has to be a 6. What am I missing here? One of these two is a 7, but I don't know which one it is yet. That's not a 1. Oh, that's a 1, bro. How did I not see that? What the heck is going on? Oh my god, bro. This is actually diabolical for me. Okay. So we have 5 and 7 in these 2 cells in some order. That obviously has to be 2 or 1. What are we missing here? 4 and 5. Okay, so we know that this has to be 1 or 2. This has to be 1 or 2. This has to be 1 or 2. Look at the first row. That, oh, okay. Wait. No, this could be a 7 though. Wait, I'm getting a lot of people saying row 3, column 1. This has to be a 4. Yes, good point. True that. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to look for stuff here. 6. Can we put a 6? This can't be a 6. This can't be a 6, and this can't be a 6. So this has to be a 6. I mean, this has to be a 7. 1, 2. Okay. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 5. 7. Okay, let's go. Okay, 1. I don't know. 5 in row 1. Okay, what are we missing here? 4, 5, and 3. So this can't be a 4 or 5, so it has to be a 3. This has to be a 4, and this has to be a 5. This has to be a 4. This has to be a 5. This has to be a 4. Okay, we should be pretty much there. Right, guys? This has to be a 5. This has to be a... Wait, 1, 2, 3. This has to be a 2. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 2. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. This has to be a 3. Let's go. 5 minutes. That's nowhere near 2 minutes, but let's go. I'm happy with 5 minutes. I mean, it is what it is. Did I do compost? Yes, actually. In year 12, I did compost. Not in year 13, though, because it kind of took a lot of time, and I don't know. It was just very time consuming. And like later assignments, I was low-key slacking. Did I show you Clue by Sam? You showed it to me. I think you said that was like a murder. I don't know if it was a murder, but you showed me a website. Yeah, I think you said your sister showed it to you. Which I didn't actually look at. But yeah. Seems interesting. Clues by Sam. So you have to kind of figure out which... You have to kind of figure... It's like a logical... Yeah, so it's basically just a different type of logic puzzle. We have to figure out who's innocent and who's not. I mean, this seems fun. So what does this even... Can we do time guesser? What's that? Like, you guess the time period. I mean, we could. If you guys want to do that, I don't know. I mean, probably I'm not... Probably I'm going to head out now. But, like, later on, we can try some stuff. Wait, this one looks interesting, though. But it's, like... This Clues by Sam. But it's, like... I don't exactly understand what... Wait, let me just look at this real quick. I don't think I'm going to do it here. Oh, and the geographical location. Okay, I see. So, like, okay, there's only one of the 3 innocents neighboring John is above Zena. But I don't understand. The people neighboring John is Isaac, Olaf, and Flora, right? Like, what is that? What do they mean? Is above Zena? Are we saying that these people are all innocent, or like, what exactly is it? What exactly is it saying? No, I know I get that, but I'm saying, like, what does it mean is above Zena? Because, like, the people above, the only person above Zena is Susan. So what does that mean? Above? Oh yeah, Isaac is. What, Isaac's an innocent? Is that what it's saying? Because Isaac is like above Zena on C in the column C. Is that what it's saying? So it's saying this guy's innocent then, and this person, because it says 3 innocents neighboring John. Is that what it's trying to say? Guys, can we do RNG dull? I mean, we can try that stuff, not just in a different live. %, I'm willing to try some interesting puzzles in different lives. If you guys want to try them out. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. We can also try time guesser, though that's not really. That's more like a kind of GeoGuessr kind of thing, with like the time constraint as well. Which, I mean, I'm not the best at geography, but we can try that. Oh yeah, okay. I mean, I was also thinking like we could, because I'm having like a lot of persistent viewers in my streams. I was thinking like we could do like a group chat and be like, okay guys, shall we try and do like a puzzle tonight or like tomorrow and like try and organize stuff. That being said, I mean, I don't know, maybe organizing stuff is a bit worse, because it's like you have to be organized about things, and like you feel like you have to like make sure that nothing comes up in advance, and it can be more stressful. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't. Yeah, that's true, because you guys can't go live. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys can always. You can always like, do some puzzles together if you want. You know, like. It is the best, because I can join whenever I want. Valid. I mean, yeah, of course. What do you mean? Are there streams where you wouldn't be able to join whenever you want? I don't understand. Are there streams where you're forced to join at like a certain time? You wouldn't turn up to organizations. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, you just, yeah. I agree. I kind of. I kind of see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of them either, because it's like organizing stuff is like just more stressful, because it feels like you kind of. It's just more annoying. For me, I always feel more stressed when I organize things. I feel like I have to be available for that, and like, even if I don't feel like it, I still kind of have to do it, and just kind of, I don't know. Fair enough. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now, guys. But yeah, if you guys are interested in when I'm next live, I probably will not be live tonight. If actually, I could be live tonight. I could go live tonight. If I go live tonight, though, it'll be like 10 or 11 p.m. by Prism. And then tomorrow, I probably won't go live. If I do, again, it'll be at night, but it wouldn't be 10 p.m. It would be like 8 p.m. or something. And then the next day on Friday, I can go live in the morning again. So I'll go live probably Friday morning. If all goes well and I'm not like depressed by results day. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, let's go. All right, I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. Thank you very much, Prison. Thank you. Thank you guys for helping with the puzzle as well. The Sudoku. Bye. Bye, Nicola.